What is happening, my people? This is Tim Dodd with the Tim Dodd Show, and today I want to walk you through how to optimize your profile in a way that makes you look awesome, like makes you look like the go-to expert in whatever you do. Because really, when somebody comes to your profile has to answer 3 questions that they're asking on a subconscious level. Remember, just most of what people are looking for when they look at your profile, whether they like or don't like you, is going to happen on a subconscious level. So those 3 questions that we need to answer is, what's in it for me? When I'm looking at your profile, I want to know what's in it for me. How can you help me? Number 2, I want to know what makes you different than other 2 million, insert your thing, like lead generation, social media, sales, whatever it is that you do, you need to answer that. What makes you different? And number 3, why should I trust you? So our profiles are going to answer what's in it for them, going to answer what makes us different, and going to answer why should they trust us. So let's go ahead and jump in. Before we do that, make sure to subscribe to the channel because I'm really here to help you master this LinkedIn game. You know, we work specifically with companies to help them get more leads, get more clients, and scale their business. But for whatever reason you need to use LinkedIn for, today's training is going to be helpful. So make sure to subscribe because I'm really here to help you become a master of this platform. Let's jump in. All right, let's go ahead and jump into optimizing your LinkedIn profile super quick. I've got this document over here, really kind of how to walk through. So the first goal of optimizing your profile is to get to somebody to connect. And then make this a little bigger for everybody on smaller screens. First goal is to get somebody to connect with you. The second goal is to get somebody to respect. So connect and respect, aka see you as the expert, and then ultimately answer the big 3 questions everybody has. And I alluded to this, I told you about it before, is they have to know what's in it for me. Very critical because people want to know what's in it for them, as well as what makes you different and why should I trust you. So if you want to answer those questions, I'll walk you through the sections step by step. So, all right, first off, we want to think of the headline. Let's just do a quick edit. Here is like on the headline, it used to be, and I used to teach, and a lot of people used to teach that you should be really salesy here, right? Whether you're using your account for lead generation or networking or whatever, it used to be like, people used to use this as like, hey, let me be super salesy right here. What I teach now, what's super important now, what's working now, look, we're reaching out to over 500,000 people a month on LinkedIn. So what we're using is very data driven, is that you want to have professional yet human and value driven. So like founder and chief growth officer, I could also put chief jokester, or if I want to be more human, founder and chief growth officer at Pima, fall for advice and resources to scale your client base. So I'm actually already offering value in my headline without being salesy. Now, I can be a little bit more salesy up top here. There's a couple different ideas that you could do for your actual banner, and that could be like if you have pictures of you speaking like at a conference that establishes you as an expert, or like, you know, we had a bunch of press on us. It was like 2021, we had a bunch of press, so I just kind of put this up here. If you want to see how to do this in Canva, you know, you can just come over to Canva and create a free account and then build out like a Canva. That's where we built this one. So no need to like go in depth on this, but you have a bunch of free, you can see over here, like free type of banners that you could create. Figured I'd pull that up. That's where we built this one. So nothing crazy, right? And then you would upload that, you know, just click here. You can upload, you can move it around once you upload it, you know, because the Canva's not the perfect size, but you know, upload it. I also would make sure that you check it on your mobile phone. As you're optimizing this, make sure you're checking it on your mobile phone, just because like, it might look good on your computer, but it might not look as good on your mobile phone. All right, let's scroll down here. So you've got your kind of top, your banner set up, you've got your profile picture set up, you've got your headline set up. What's next? Okay, well, just make sure on the profile that you look good. You don't want to look trashy. Okay, cool. You have this little add profile section. It's very, very cool, right? You can add like education. So I would definitely add like any education you have. You can add add a position that you're at. That's going to be like, you know, experience. You can add skills. I definitely would add skills like, you know, e-commerce, inbound, lead, LinkedIn advertising. Whatever you do, add all of your skills. Very, very critical. And for recommendations, I would add featured for sure. Add recommended. I would add features for sure. Licenses, certifications for sure if you have them. And add recommendations if you have them, as well as anything you have, fill out anything you have possible, but let me walk you through like the overview. Like you can walk through like the little detail by detail. Let's talk about overall your about section. So if we come over here, the about section should talk about you in a way that answers the big three right here. So what's in it for me? What makes you different? Why should I trust you? Remember, always be thinking that as you're doing it. Now, at this point, I point people to my featured. You don't have to do that. You can write like an about section, and I'll show you kind of how to do that here in a second. But you see how I actually want to guide people to the free resources, which is my free YouTube and some of my lead magnets like free download, free trainings. I could also do like my testimonies here. Great place to put the featured section. So I'm not going to necessarily walk you through how to do that, but make sure that what you have here, what it says, like free training reveals the new way to get flooded with red hot leads. And like, so you want to edit this. Like if I were to, let's just add a link. I could put a link in here. Let's just say from book of free strategy call. Let's just say I'm doing that. What I want to make sure I do here is I want to make sure that this image is good. You see how this image is just not good? The way you change that is you go to the actual metadata on the page. Not going to get too into that, but you want to make sure the image is good, and you want to make sure your title and description is good. Like, get your free client scale blueprint today. Like something like that. It's got to be value driven. I'm not going to do this one. I've already created some. So like my YouTube channel's here. You can get my free training, get my free ebook here, all of that stuff. Very, very cool. So I really point people to this section. But what you could do if you wanted to is you could make something like I created for a section like PMA's a B2B client acquisition, and that kind of it's a little smaller so you can read it. Like PMA is a B2B client acquisition agency, not just a lead generation company. The problem with lead generation right now is that it's all about filling up your calendar with very little regard of quality of meetings. So kind of doing what's in it for me, setting myself as an expert by talking about a problem with the industry. And then I kind of talk about this, like what makes me different is, would you rather have 1,000 meetings that turn into 30 clients or 100 meetings that turn into 30 clients? If your answer was anywhere related to I'd rather have 100 meetings that turn into 30 clients, you're in the right place. This is called client acquisition. So remember, I'm making myself different, setting myself apart. This stuff is true, by the way. It's not something I made up. Like, this is the state of the industry, and it's crazy. But so, hey, whether you're looking to scale your first 10K a month, or you're looking to blow past 100K a month, or your team's already crushing it, you're looking to throw fuel on the fire, DM me. You can message. And all this stuff is real, but I'm being very specific about like what's in it for me, what makes me different, why should I trust you, right? So the very, very simple, very, very straightforward. So I'm actually going to copy this because I'm actually going to use this as the experience section as I come down here. So that's the featured section. The about section, I could, if I wanted to, put that in here. But again, I'm really trying to get people to go to my other, like if they come to my profile, I want them to like get into my other like lead magnets and stuff like that. Okay. Activity, very cool. I mean, I just post every day, so that's cool. Let me edit this right now. So what I want to do is overall have all my experiences kind of tell a story of like, from when I first started as an entrepreneur to when I first had my marketing company, my second marketing company, my training program. I want, when people go through this, I want it to tell a story of like, oh dude, this guy's a true expert at what he does. And I'm not BSing, I'm not making anything up, but this is like, I want people to see that this is like, that I'm a true expert at what I do and what's in it for them. Now I'm going to edit this section right here just to show you. I pre-created this, and what I suggest is you do pre-create it like I just showed you over here. I created the experience section, what I just read off to you. I want to put that, and I'm going to hit save. So now I've got all of this kind of filled out. They see the story of how I can help them. Take a little time here. Don't oversell, but definitely take some time. And I notice how I had a little bit of clickbait here. Like, PMA is a B2B client acquisition, not a lead generation company. The problem with lead generation right now is that it's all about filling up your calendar with very little regard. Like, that kind of leaves you like a cliffhanger. Like, oh shoot, like I want to read that. So ideally, they click this and they read more, because if they don't click that and read more, it's not going to tell much of a story. But if I can have a little bit of a cliffhanger, it's going to make them want to read more. Now, Here's another thing you could do is education. So I legitimately didn't have any kind of cool like Harvard or any business degree like that. I literally just self-made. But what you can do here is notice up here in my profile, if I don't have a cool like degree like some people have, which is totally fine if you do or you don't. For me, it's just I just started a business instead of going to school. I just focused on that. But either way, make sure to use this as a way to kind of hiring for sales, or like whatever you want to do, whatever you want to start selling. You can do this because this is where your education is going to show up. Your current company and your education is going to show up here. So you can put in just like a fake whatever and to say whatever you want, like hiring for sales or like client acquisition. Just gives you a little bit of more sell space. So let's come down here. License and certificates, Google certified, Founder Institute, etc. Skills. This is really cool. So add all your skills like LinkedIn marketing, entrepreneurship. Why, you want to have these relevant to like what answering the big three. Remember, this whole profile needs to be about answering the big three, right? Why should I trust you? What makes you different? And if you come to my profile, you can see like I've recommended on this stuff very heavily. Make sure your top three are the important ones. And then the way to actually get people to endorse you is you can actually build your network, go out and endorse them, and they just endorse back. So make sure you have recommendations. How this works is you can click add recommendation, and then you actually request a recommendation. So I would suggest to do that for any current or past clients that you've worked with. You can also put projects here. You can see this is super outdated for mine, not been as important. If you do publications, that's cool as well. All right, let's keep going. Languages, English, organizations you're part of. I haven't done much with the organizations here. Down here, interests, I want to make sure that anybody I follow, remember everything that I want to do is around my prospect or whoever I'm reaching out to that I want to network with or meet with, answering these big three. So that's it. That's how you would optimize your profile to really set you up as the absolute expert in what you do.
All right, that's how you do it. That's how you set up your profile to answer those big three questions that you need to answer. And that is, what's in it for them? What makes you different? And why should they trust you? Now, if you want to get more resources on LinkedIn on how to get clients and how to get leads, that's our main focus. Go to the channel. I literally give away more free content on this topic than other people charge money for. So make sure to do that. I also have, if you have thought about starting a business, you've thought about creating side income, and you want to get to your first 10K, I have resources in the description for you as well. Now, if you're looking to sell more and scale more, you already have a business, I have a free resource for you at the end. Make sure to click that link. And in fact, that link is right below. Click that link and it'll really help you grow and scale your business. This is Tim with the Tim Dodd Show, and I'll see you at the top.